Hello, fellow geeks and citizens. I am Geekier Gamer, and today we will finally get Lunar Technium. And then we will start the intersection by looking at the iCraft chapter. Welcome back to Techopolis 3. Alright, so here we are on the moon. We've built up all these things over the last few episodes, including, I think, last episode we built this, but we didn't do anything with it. Well, in the interim, I think maybe I did on episode, I used the resistive heater, which we used with the big thermal towers. That's what's giving this thing heat. It needs heat. Lunar gas, whoops, here we go. I took some of the moon dust and just created enriched moon dust, which really just runs through a, let me see. I'm trying to remember. Enriched moon dust. Enriched moon dust is really just moon dust in an enrichment chamber, and then moon dust is crushed to get moon dust. And so all of that is happening. I had this set up, but I've collected so much I don't need it. But this was collecting moonstone, which, by the way, if you're going to use the digital miner to collect moonstone, don't forget that this structure has moonstone in it, and it deleted all that, and my quarry stopped working, which is what you need to run to get the moon dust. So anyway, and then fuel, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then, of course, all the other ingredients, which we have to, which I believe we've prepped already, and so we're just got to go set up. But anyway, so I've got this thing creating lunar gas, and it's got a big backlog in lunar gas, so it should not become an issue. Looks like I don't need these power cables here. I'm still keeping my distance because this thing is radioactive, so you get too close and it starts making you get sick. All right, let's talk about fuel. This was a major problem because in the quest line, in JEI, when you look at it, to make fuel, you'd have to, fuel's easy. Empowered oil, you had to drop an empowered canola seed into crystallized oil. Well, crystallized oil, you had to drop a crystallized canola seed into refined canola oil. And refined canola oil wasn't so bad. You had to use a fermenting recipe, and then you could use the pressing. So previously, I had built the presser, and you'll see I've now expanded this operation. So I got lots of pressers making liquid canola oil in fermenting barrels, and then it goes into here and actually just gets imported in my system because I have fluid cells, and I just have it constantly sending that stuff here. At some point, I'll probably would have to stop this. I don't know how, if it'll overload my system or if I'll finish the game before then. Everything up here is new, so thank you to Gaming on Caffeine. I watched his video. It took me a little more experimentation because I probably should have watched this video all the way through before I started playing with it, but then I started experimenting myself. And basically, and I also, because I had moved to all the purple pattern things, I found that didn't work here. So I had to go back to a standard ME pattern provider with an ME interface. But what happens is you have the pattern in here where you have a refined canola oil bucket, empowered canola seed, and crystallized, because it takes, two of those to get to the empowered oil. And then you'll see here, this is a quartz fiber, which separates the network, which I further did by changing the color of the cable because I was actually having issues with that. The ME interface gets the items from the pattern, from the craft, and then puts them the only place it can put them. So I have a basic fluid tank for the refined canola oil, and I have a drawer for the 2 seeds. And then I have active formation planes. This is something I didn't catch in the video. It took me a while to figure out why I was doing wrong. And this one is set to block placement, and it sets the refined oil. And this one is set to drop the items, and it drops the items. It doesn't matter the order. It just seems to work. They both go in there, and they boom, boom. And then I have an annihilation plane that's set on a storage bus that will only accept empowered oil. So it will only take it when it's empowered. And then here it imports it back into my system. And then, what did I set up? And then to make fuel, I have a very similar setup where I send the empowered oil. One bucket makes 2 buckets. One bucket goes in here, goes into here, goes into the system. I already have oil constantly coming in here from the nether. And then I export it back directly in, or import it back into my system. So that's fuel. Fuel was a pain in the butt. You'll really have to look at this. I really recommend looking at Gaming on Caffeine. He has a really good walkthrough where he experimented and finally got to a solution that worked. And I just borrowed it. All right. that brings us to, let me see, I believe we had previously set up our entangled block. Let me run over here. So our entangled blocks are in this building here. I'll have to put up a different link when we move to the final stuff. This won't work. So, and I don't know why I didn't set this up as a pattern when I set this one up, but I decided to set this one up as a pattern. And so it's constantly exporting the fuel because we don't care. So here's an exporter and it's sending the fuel. No big deal. On this side, I've set up a pattern, a pattern grid, and I have the pattern in my, I had the pattern in my inventory. I have to go find it. And then, and then the import bus is only going to import back Lunar Technium. And because I don't have any, I don't have it set up in my thing yet. I have a compacting drawer for that. So where did I put my pattern? Pattern. I lost my pattern. This is the pattern provider, and it's not in there. Huh. So maybe I did not craft the pattern yet. So let's see here. Let's go to the pattern thing, and we'll go to Lunar Technium, and I'm going to set craft, or I hit the pattern, and then I have to remove lunar gas and fuel because I'm already sending it. Temperature's not an issue. I actually don't know if I'm crafting all these things or not. I believe we are, but the fastest way to find out is stick this thing in the pattern provider. All right, and we ask for one. Can't get much harder than that, right? Let's take a look and see. Let's just ask for one. It does look like it's going to craft everything it needs. It already has a bunch of stuff. So I have backlogged Venus stone. I've backlogged moon brick. I backlogged cheese, except that it's got to craft it into a block. I did not backlog the plates and the rods, but I can do that later. So yeah, I think I kind of backlogged everything I need. I guess it's got to craft a few things from. All right, so let's see what happens. And that's right. I forgot that I had set up over here. I've set up the. Let me see, going up. Unlike what I did with past metals, this one is set up as pattern providers to get them as needed rather than constantly, because they have to go to the moon to be made, and I didn't want to have them all going at the same time because I didn't know what that would do, how that would conflict, what kind of problems it would cause. All right. I did increase the quantities of all of these that are being stored because I found they were causing me backlog. When I tried to backlog other things, it was causing issues. So I always recommend your drawers storage contain more than the 2048 default once you're able to produce it. So you can see here I'm doing this, but like this copper has become an issue because I didn't have it set to auto produce. And then I don't know if I've said this on camera before, but I've had an issue when I unload the world. Let me see if I can get through this door. In this, this is not a good example because it's full. In the injecting factory, this will get stopped and you'll see it stops processing until I grab something out of there. And so that's been a problem throughout. I don't think it's, let's see here. Here's an example. Uranium. If I take it, now it's starting to process again. So you really need to watch your injecting factories because see, like this one is not full. If I take this, see. Anyway, so I should go check I'll check later at the top. All right, so let's see if our Lunar Technium actually produced. Oh, something, it's just blinking. So let's go over to the moon and see if it sent the items, or actually, wait a second. Let's look at the crafting. And okay, it's still making things. It's making the gears, which we can go take a look at. The gears are made way over here someplace. I think this is gears up here. Now that I've closed everything, it's harder to get to it. Let me think. Were gears at the top of brown or white? It's probably white. Yeah, it's white. I think I said this last episode, but if I didn't, I have closed everything in. So it is making it harder to get around. Yeah, okay, here it is. It is. It's backlogged because I'm doing zinc gears. I've been backlogging zinc gears. Let me cancel that because it's going to be a conflict. There we go. Now it's crafting them. It just finished. It's got them. It's sending it. Let's go take a look. Or, I mean, we can watch here, but it's not as impressive. Let's go to the moon. Oh, look at that. We got a lunar ingot. Ooh, and it took a lot of fuel, so now it's filling up again. So it takes, what's the craft take? I can't remember, like 48 buckets, millibuckets. So 48 buckets every time. So, yeah, I got to keep a backlog of that fuel. If I go look at fuel in my system, I have 400 buckets. So I got a bit, and I think I had a craft going, but it stopped. Yeah, and so I didn't do for hellish, right? I didn't set up a pattern, so I'm having to constantly send stuff like that. Okay, so this is stopped because of netherite block. I really should have done this similarly to what I've just now done for lunar, because now every time I want to increase hellish, I just got to go see which ingredient is missing and go and request it to craft those. Yeah, it's kind of a pain. All right, so we got lunar. Let's put down a drawer. Let's go get that ingot. Lunar. There's our first thing. Now we're going to get the... There we go. Throw it in here. Pull out a nugget. Great. Now let's get my key. Locked. All right. And we're going to stick this up here next to hellish. There we go. It's in the system. Now let's go ahead and request 10 more. I don't know how many we're going to need, but let's, while that's working itself through it, let's go take a look at the quest line. So we need to create, a turbine coil. I hope I don't actually have to build this turbine. Allows turbine to produce RF when placed inside, because I have a lot of power, and I've heard the late game takes a ton of power, but I've been trying to plan ahead, and so, like, I have, oh wow, my power's, it's going out, it's outputting a ton. Okay, I see. So in between those crafts, I guess lunar takes a lot of power. This will build back up again, and it holds, I mean, 2.6 TFE, which I think is awful lot. And I don't know if I'm still burning off, or if I'm, see, like right here, I'm not actually collecting this energy. Let me grab that. Let me see. Hold on. I have 2 sets of leggings for my space. One with, or not leggings, boots. This one's got magnetic on it, which I've found causes problems when I'm near the fuel thing over there, because it takes the seeds. But all right, 1 second. Ooh, all right, let's grab this. Now that's going to generate power where it wasn't before. Let's make sure. Let's go look around. Yeah, this one's also burning its power. So let me take that, and that means there's one more here. Take that as well, and I'm going to set these all right here so I have them when I need them. All right, so now what's the output versus input? It's still outputting more than it's inputting, but that should help it get back up to, I don't remember how much these nuclear reactors, oh, this is not producing anything because there's no stuff in there. What am I missing? What goes in there? The export bus doesn't have anything on it. Did my export buses get messed up? Interesting. I think it's supposed to be sending these, if I remember correctly. Or no, it's supposed to be sending ionite. And this one doesn't have the advanced. Something's going on here. It's like I've lost some things. Technium. Let me make a hellish block. Interesting. Oh, there's all my lunar, so it's starting to come in. It didn't finish, so something's still going. Okay. What is going on here? I didn't remember taking this out, and then Oh, it's not running. $220 ticks. 12. Oh, that's a great antimatter. Yeah. This is the best generation of it. Produces, yep. Needs to be in the overcars structure, which I have. Huh. I don't know what's going on with my power here. Is all of this backlogged? All of this is backlogged. So... What's going on in here? Trying to remember how this whole thing works. So it creates this. Oh, no, it has no power. Interesting. That's how power was underneath. It is. Oh, my power cable is empty. Wow. So the Lunar is draining power faster than it can produce. Let's see. There's this my main power bus down here. Let's see. Oh my gosh, they're both empty. Actually, this one's not even set. Wait here. Output. That one's got power in it. Is it not connected correctly though? Let's go down there. All these things we have to work out once we start down a path. Let's see, does this go down? No. Some of these go down. Oh, there's a hole here. All right, what's going on down here? Wait a second. This doesn't look right. This should be, okay, this has to this outputs, this inputs, and then outputs to this one. This one is not inputting though. And then this is the cable everything else in my network is connected to. These are all green. Green, 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 green. Oh, coming all the way over here. It's green. Did I fix it? It's weird. Let's go back up here. No, this is... What is that down there? Ultimate Energy Cube. What did I do? It's got power coming in. Power. Input from the top. Oh. This is... Oh, okay. This is the power coming... This doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. This is power input. All right. I'll have to figure this out. I can see this is going to take a while. We'll come back to that. All right. Continuing down this track. So made with Lunar Technium inside a metal press, which I completely forgot about the concept of this because for my copper ones, I am not using a metal press. So I'm going to need to make another metal press because I have everything but the coil. This is whatever this one is. Can I see? There we go. This one is not plates. This one's rods. That one's plates. The other one is gears. So I need to make another metal press. So let's see here. Let me do that off camera because it's just a metal press, and I'll find a place for it. Maybe over here. There seems to be some space over here. Maybe I'll just build it here. And I will be right back. Alrighty. First, I did figure out my power thing. Got it working and I turned all the reactors back on, so they're generating power and they're contributing, and so now it's going up versus down, but it is burning a lot more power than I normally do. So I may need to increase. So I have space in here. I should create some more of these cells so that when I'm AFKing, I generate more backlog, so that when I do a craft that's very expensive, which apparently some of the stuff that's coming up is. Anyway, all that to say, here we go. Now I can make my lunar coil. Let's request just one. Uses a nugget. There it goes, stamped. And there it is. Let's grab it so we get to completion. All right. And then let's see here. How do we make this? All turbine allows the turbine to produce RF when placed inside. More information can be found in technology. So better coils produce more power. So we'll see if I have to do this. Oh, I see. Okay. So where's the basic? Here we go. Can I make a basic coil? Oh, I'm going to need 4 coils. So I should request 3 more. Okay. I'll throw this one in there. And then, oh, here they are. Yep. So, high voltage coil block. Ooh, high voltage wire. I don't think I'm making high voltage wire. Yep, I'm not making aluminum wire. So let's create some more patterns. Let's see here. Go back here. And go to this thing. And go to this thing. And I'm going to need to make a steel wire, which I'm not making yet. Steel. Boom. I'm glad it produces 2. And then, let's see. Go back in here. Aluminum. Okay, aluminum. Produces 2 as well. That's great. All right. Put them both in here. And then I might as well create a pattern for this high voltage block. Well, let's see. I'm going to need to do this for the coil. Good, it's a regular stick. And then I'm going to do it for the block. There we go. Put that in my extended molecular exemplars. Down here someplace, alphabetically. There we go. Stick them in here. And if you remember, I'm doing quantum computing or quantum crafting, so I have all the space in the world. So let's craft one of these. There we go. You can take a look here. It carves off some of my stuff I have going on. Oh, it's interesting. I don't know if the bronze. I don't know what's happening there. I'll have to look at that later. Okay, great. So we have our block. Let's grab it. Complete our. Oh, is it just? It says any. Oh, I have to click submit. Why is this not working? Basic Technium turbine coil. Is that not what I create? Oh, I didn't create that. I created. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I have to finish the craft. There we go. All right. Don't know if I'm going to build it yet. Like I said, we'll have to see what is happening. All right. So Lunar Technium machine frame. It's definitely something we should create a recipe for, because we know we use these a lot. Or is it Technium machine frame Lunar? Ooh, interesting. Netherite gears. That's not something I have created yet. And so I'll need to go add that to my gear. I can do it from here. I always forget. So netherite gears. Let me make sure. I don't believe so though. Netherite. Oh no, I do have netherite gears. Okay, great. So let's go add this to our extended molecular. Here we go. That's great. Takes it right to the space. Drop one in here. Let's go ahead and craft one. Lunar. Next. Okay. Off it goes. Crafting, almost done. Come on. Give it to me. There it is. All right, Technium machine frame. And then what do we have here? Turbine controller. The turbine can be used to create large amounts of power from steam, which is interesting because I'm doing that with my friend EA on our ocean block stuff. We're using steam, but we're using Oratech. Ah, wow. Okay. I don't know that I have any of this craftable, so let's go turbine. Controller. Yeah, this is the one. Let me bookmark that. And what do I not have? I do not have cyanite blocks, and I do not have turbine housing. So let's create some patterns. So cyanite block, I know I have the cyanite, so that's no big deal. And then turbine housing, which if we do end up making the turbine, we're probably going to need this recipe, so we might as well craft it. There we go. And then let's add that to our extended molecular. Here we go. There's that one. There's that one. Okay. Then let's go back here, and we were trying to make this, so I need to make those first. So let's get 4 of these. Go. We need to make the cyanite blocks. Let's get 2 of those. All right. Looks like we have everything. Click the button. Boom. You only have to make 1 controller, so I didn't go. Pattern was needed. And there we go. We have completed our Lunar Technium chapter. Now, I want to jump right in. I know we don't have very much time, but I just want to look at this and see what it's going to take to craft this. So the Flux Crafter is going to take a bit more Lunar Technium. 5. Let's go ahead and do this real quick, because it's we can get the Lunar Technium pretty quick, I think. Let's see, Lunar. We already have it. So let's crafter. No, crafter. Not the automatic. This one here. Boom. We need a crafting table. Okay. I know I have a crafting table recipe. Here we go. Just make 100 of those. And it looks like it's using the wrong thing, but that's all right. We'll throw this in here. Okay. And then providing more of these in a range of the iCrafter will increase its speed. So, let's see if I can make 1 of them to start. So flux alternator. There it is right there. I need 2 more lunar. Lunar. I'm going to need a lot more of that as we go. Now, I've used one of these on a different mod pack quite some time ago, but I think you've just spread these things around the outside of it, and I think you give them power maybe, and they will make this craft go faster. While that is doing its thing, let's take a look at what we have to do. So other than the end portal, which we have to craft this thing in this thing, so no big deal. And you know, the more of these we have, the faster it crafts. We need to be able to craft all of these eyes, which is really going to be what our next episode is about. And you have to put all these ingredients in, and you have to craft these eyes. And we need at least 1 of each to create the Dragon Slayer, plus a bunch of lunar, right? And then we need at least 12 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So at least 12 of these eyes. I think it's 12 or 16. Let's see. Yeah, 12 eyes. We're going to need all 16 at least once. So I might as well make 2 of everything. I don't know that I will create recipes for this, depending on how hard it is. Some of the things may be harder than others as we look through these. But yeah, I'm going to start prepping for this. In the next episode, I don't know that it requires, a lot of on-screen time. We'll take a look. If there's anything unique, then we'll take a look at that. But I want to thank you for joining me today, my fellow geeks and citizens. We've knocked out the Lunar Technium section now, and we're moving into our final section that will get us to the end of the mod pack. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.